What's up, YouTube? It's Brendan's Blends, and I'm back with another video, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the last video. Today this video is a different topic. This video is basically anything that's gonna get me clicks, man. To be honest, bro, this is a grind. I don't know if you've noticed. Actually, you most likely have noticed, but you know, this is a grind, man. I've actually heard that YouTube is upping their policy, so it's gonna be actually harder for people to be able to get monetized. So, like a smart man I am doing what I can to get monetized. So this video is anything that's going to get me clicks, okay? I hope you understand that. You know that. If you watch my other previous videos, you know that. If you have watched just in general any of my videos, you know that. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. You already know it's Brendan's Blends. So today's topic is, I mean, you can see the beard, right? You can see the hair, right? The depressing thing about life, man, and that is getting older. Man, I never thought in 29 years when I was born, I never thought that if I bend down to get something, my knees will be buckling, bro. To be honest, dude, I never thought that I would have back pains from sitting down, bro. I never thought that my beard would be a problem, bro. That I'd have to shave every month, bro. Like, getting older is like the apple from Sleeping Beauty. You know, like it's something that's there, and you don't know how it is until you start getting older. And to be honest, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna consider myself old, but you know, the 15-year-old that, you know, the 15-year-old YN that wears a ski mask most likely considers me old, you know. But to be honest, there's positives, there's pros and cons about being old, to be honest, because hey, I prefer to be 29 and alive and have a future ahead of me instead of being 15 and not knowing if I'm gonna make it to 18. Because as a black man, bro, that is, you know, that is something that is what's the word? That is a superstition. Okay, it's a superstition, bro. When you're 15 and you're out doing drugs and getting high and you're drinking and everybody around you is gang affiliated, you don't know if you're gonna make it to 16. You don't know if you're gonna make it to 17. You don't know if you're gonna make it to the next month. Okay, but when you've already past that phase, you're 29 and you really sit back and you really chill, because if somebody tries to break into my crib, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm going to run into my room and I'm going to get my phone and I'm gonna call the police, because that's all I need to do, okay? I'm not gonna portray something that I'm not, bro. I got a life to live, you know what I mean? I'm old, bro. This is the thing that comes out of being old, or getting older, bro. I don't got time to be digging into beefs and politics and this and that, you know what I mean? And to be honest, man, there's a lot of things that I have hung up while getting older, okay? I've hung up a lot of things, man, what's it called? High school fame. High school fame, right? There's some people that still live in high school fame, and unfortunately, you need to hang that up. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, okay? Because when we think about it, right? When I sit down and think about it, high school was about 12, 13 years ago for me, and to be honest, that high school fame clearly didn't get me fame, because I'm not famous, okay? So there's people that I'm not trying to be mean or crush your dream, but I'm going to crush your dream. You need to hang it up. There's a line that's drawn, and to be honest, if you think about it, bro, it ain't nothing bad about the double arches, bro. Okay, ain't nothing bad about the 2-piece or the 4-piece McChicken nuggets or the bag of fries. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I like that. You know what I mean? I'll provide use some type of money. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with bagging up the fries. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with ringing up my groceries, bro. You know what I mean? But you know, when you get older, you know, you realize that a lot of things aren't how they used to be, you know? And sometimes you just have to hang certain things up. You know, me on the other hand, I'm a different story, okay? All right, so because I started, hey look, don't laugh. I started YouTube at 27, bro. Okay, but look, man, hey, I'm still getting there. You know, and I'm not gonna sit here and lie. You know, I got some type of, you know, wave or motion or whatever. But hey, look, man, I started YouTube at 27. Okay. Yes, I know that's you know, that's somewhat status, okay, but hey, look, man, my 20s, dude, I can't sit here and lie, man, I actually lived in my 20s, to be honest with you, you know, at 18, 19, I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do in my life, to be honest. I didn't know where I was gonna be. I didn't know if I would ever be where I'm currently at, or achieve the things that I've achieved, to be honest. But you know, at 22, my back was against the wall, and I made do. You know, I made do. My back was against the wall. I was in a different state, knew nobody, had no family there, but I made do. I made a way. You know, and I worked I worked hard each and every single day with nothing. I scrapped up whatever I could, and I made a way. And basically in my 20s, you know, I basically lived, you know, and to be honest, living is not going to the club and partying and, you know, and doing drugs and, you know, passing a bottle around. No, living is being able to get to a certain point in your life where you'll be good for the rest of your life, so that my kids can be good for the rest of their life. My generation could be good for the rest of their life. That's basically living. And that's exactly what I did. Yeah, I went to the club here and there with my bros. You know, yeah, we went out, yeah, we hung out, you know, yeah, we did stuff and, you know, and we had fun, but at the same time, that's not living. If you're in your 40s or however old you are, and you come to me, you tell me in your 20s you lived because all you did was go to the club, have sex, and do drugs, you didn't live. You didn't live because you're suffering. You know, there's a lot of people that are suffering right now, you know, getting older and suffering, you know, they're working these, you know, these 9 to 5s, you know, these people, their car is their life, you know, the engine is their life, bro. Like, bro, you know, if that engine turns off, your car is scrapped, right? Like, I hope you understand that, bro. A car ain't shit. A car is nothing, dude. A car is just an engine that moves and takes you to your location, bro. You know what I mean? A car has as much value as a car. A car doesn't breathe, it doesn't sleep, it doesn't do anything. It's a machine. Okay? And people have to understand that. You are not your car. You know what I mean? A car is a valuable asset for sure that can take you from destination A to destination B, and it is very useful. But at the same time, you can't put your life into a car. You can't think that you're the richest person in this world because you have a car, or because you live in some location or whatever. A car is just a car. And to be honest, as bad as a car is as bad as a person is, basically. But to be honest, I've seen people live in cars. I've seen people become 40 or, you know, or get older, and, you know, and they work themselves to death, dude. They work themselves to death. To be honest, I'd be damned if I wake up at 35, 36, and I have nothing to show for it. Okay? I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. You can go party, you can go do your drugs or whatever, but me, I made sure that I worked. I made sure that I built brick by brick by brick, whatever I possibly could build. Okay, and that's why I'm here. I'm still nowhere. I'm still nowhere, but at least I'm trying. And getting older is really accepting the fact that this life won't be here forever. But at the end of the day, you have to do what you have to do for yourself. And that's exactly what I do each and every single day. I have nephews, I have nieces, you know. I I have little kids that look up to me and see me as some type of man, you know. And it's not like I sit down and I'm like, oh, I'm not a man, you know. I know I'm a man. Like, you know, I know I'm a man, bro. Like, I understand that I'm a man, and getting older is just getting older, you know. Fortunately enough, you know, I'm not like, you know, like 60 or whatever, or, you know, I'm 29. You know, I'm still in my 20s. I'm hanging on to a shred. You know, I still got a couple months left. Okay, look, okay, I'm not old yet. Okay, I'm not in my 30s yet. But to be honest, 30s. Hey, 30s. I'm actually ready for it. To be honest with you, 30s. I personally feel like 30s, man. 30 people that are 30 years old are like unnoticed. Like, I hope you understand that. Like, there's people that are 30 years old that you never see. You know what I'm saying? You never see. They're incognito. But at the end of the day, like, as a 30-year-old person, I personally feel like I aged like fine wine. Okay, like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. My beard, you know what I mean? My hair texture, you know, I had locks and my hair is still growing, bro. I still have a hairline. No minoxidil is needed, bro. Like, let me live. Okay, look, man. Hey, to be honest, I'm personally happy to be able to see 30 and to be able to live, you know, the life that I currently live, and to be able to keep pushing forward and keep pressing forward, you know. Yes, I'm gonna get older, you know, but I got 10 years till I'm 40, okay? I got 10 years till I'm 40. So within those 10 years, I better make something shake, okay? I better make something shake, because if I don't, bro, I'm gonna be turning in my grave, okay? I'm not gonna be working a 9 to 5 at 40. I hope everyone who watches this video, I hope you understand that I'm not gonna be working a 9 to 5 when I'm 40. I'll be damned if I am, bro. Okay, like no, like no, like that's just not gonna happen, bro. I would rather walk 9 to 5 miles at 40, but I'm not working a 9 to 5 at 40. Okay, but getting older is a blessing. You know, it's a blessing. You know, you should never as you're younger, like I was saying, as you're younger, you know, if you're in your 20s, you know, not going to the club is not living, bro. Like, poisoning your liver is not living, bro. And you know, and monogamy and lust is not living, bro. You know what I mean? Because, you know, yeah, you can bag a baddie, or, you know, yeah, you can have sex and, you know, this and that, or, you know, you can release your semen and this and that. But you gotta understand, like, there are certain things that you have to do in your 20s to prepare for your future. You know, you have to prepare for your future. If you're in your 20s and you're just wasting away, you have to do something. You got to get up and you have to do something. Drinking alcohol, smoking weed, and tarring your lungs. Like, who wants to tar their lungs by 30, bro? Like, if you think about it, why would you want to tar your lungs at 25, but then you're not able to run at least 2 miles by 30? You know, hey, look, me, I'm a walking proof. I can run 3 miles, okay? And I'm 30. I can run like 3 miles. I can run 4 miles. To be honest, I can run 5 miles, bro. I'm different, just like that. I'm different. But at the end of the day, when you're in your 20s and, you know, when you're younger, you know, you should really be focused on building a life for yourself. You should really be focused on making sure that, you know, when you're 25, matter of fact, by 21, you should have your own apartment. You know, by 21, you should have your own apartment. By 25, you know, you should, you know, still be in your own apartment. By 30, you should have your own house. By 30, you should have your own house. And, you know, by 40, you should be retired, or by 35, you should be retired. You should be living free. You know, you should be living free and have enough money to take care of your family. You know, everyone that you, not necessarily everyone that you care about, but your family. You should have enough money to take care of your wife, your kids. That's how it should really be. By 35, you should have enough money to make sure that your girl, if you have one, your girl has a nice big diamond ring on her finger. Okay, so getting older, you know, it comes with pros and cons, but there's a lot of pros. You know, you can find love, you can find, you know, something that's beneficial, something that works for you. You know, you already lived that phase of trying to understand, and now you understand. Now you know what you've already done, and now you know what to just keep doing to keep living. You know, and that's exactly what I'm doing each and every single day. I already understand what I had to go through. You know, back against the wall, no family to support me, no friends to support me, no anything. I had to, you know, make my own way. bought my first car at, I bought my first car at 24. At 24, I was borderline 24, and then I leaped over to 25, and you know, I had my first car. And to be honest, man, I made sure you knew I had a car, bro. Like, okay, my music was bumping, always, and always will be, okay? When I get a car, will I get a car? I'm not sure, and not anytime soon, but, yeah. By 25, I had my own car. By 25, I had my first apartment. Yes, by 25, I had my first apartment. Dude, I'm telling you, dude, I wasn't like thugging, but you know, I was sitting down calculating, bro. I was analyzing, okay? As Africans parents say, I was analyzing, bro. I was sitting down and analyzing, okay? I was thinking, okay? Sometimes I think too deep, but I was thinking, bro. And I got my first apartment, bro, upstairs and downstairs with its own bathroom. Actually, 2 bathrooms, okay? 2 bathrooms. Not just 1, 2, okay? The rent was a little bit high, but I still paid it. Yes, I got my first apartment at 25, you know, finished multiple trades, you know, barbering, which is what made this channel, and it still is this channel, you know. I'm coming with that content soon, but, you know, and ended up, you know what I'm saying, being able to afford and sustain the life that I currently have, but, you know, the older you get, you know, the more you realize you have to understand certain things, and you gotta technically be a man, you know, and you know, yeah, you know, as I step into my 30s, you know, I am prepared. I'm older, but you know, to be honest, like I was saying, like, you know, as a 30-year-old, you know, I blend in well. You know, people look at me and be like, "Oh, you look young." Like, I don't know about that. You know, when I was young, I looked young, okay, but I don't know about how I look young, but you know, as a 30-year-old, you know, I age like fine wine, you know, I'm blending in, you know, but, you know, yeah, the older you get, you know, the more you understand life, and it's actually a good thing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. Yes, you can call me Unc, but if you're in your 20s and you're calling me Unc, bro, like, you should stop, bro. There should be a limit, because maybe when you're like, you know, 18 or younger, like, yeah, you can call me Unc, but if you're in your 20s, bro, and you're calling a 30-year-old Unc, bro, like, that doesn't make sense. That's like, that just doesn't make sense, because literally you are preparing to be Unc too if you're in your 20s. So, but yeah, that's my little topic of the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You know, yeah, I know you guys enjoyed this video because y'all watch me, you know, and I care about you guys just as much as you care about me. You know, let's do this together. You know, let's build. You know, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and yeah, you already know, it's Brendan's Blends. I'm out. Peace.